Only Basco was here.
What do you think he would have done? He would have done something in the future. He absolutely would have like.
Yeah, what do you think? He would look at,
Where's the book? Where'd the book come from? Where are the spiral stairs? Who is the man with no eyes?
I'm sorry?
What?
What?
Does he wear wigs?
When will you wear wigs?
The dolphin from Flipper has died.
Oh no. Car accident!
Oh my god.
Alright. So, yeah. You both just came out of your Chrono Trigger mode.
Sick.
So,
Still need to play that game.
you don't say much. Sorry.
You've insulted a lot of people.
Joe Wells just appears in the chat.
Alex, I can't believe you lost my favorite game.
Look, there's multiple instances where you see him and he's just been wearing a Chrono Trigger shirt.
I've been a Chrono Trigger fan from the beginning.
Him on his fucking wedding day.
No, that was a suit we were all wearing together. No,
Oh,
fuck, it
what?
did say Chrono Trigger on it. Oh, wow.
I was like on the sleeve.
It's like a Kaiser Soze moment where like I drop my coffee and I just see. Oh, you guys have never. You've seen The Usual Suspects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that moment where he turns around and realizes everything was written on the board behind him and
Yeah.
everything was made up. But instead of that, it's just all Chrono Trigger.
Joe Wells has really been into JRPGs this entire time.
But I digress.
Mm-hmm.
You both just had mind-blowing experiences. And like you just said, you had that moment of like, he rests on our shoulders, so that we may rest on his. What the fuck is he talking about?
Right.
What the fuck is he talking about?
You're the one that writes the book.
This will be a chapter.
So, oh my god, Mac, I'm actually going to be so famous forever because of the book. I need to be careful what I say.
Too late.
Too late.
I just
I
have
said a
to
lot of things about gobos
Oh.
that are not gonna be
Not
true.
okay.
Yeah.
Release this book after I die, please.
I know exactly what joke you're thinking of. And no.
frowning friends.
Oh no, the one that we made about bird slurs.
Oh.
Josh, say it live.
Bird. No, dude, not okay.
Oh my god. But because nothing's written in stone. So what if we do kill the Praetorian and never figure out how to get this book into, Tricurrent's hands?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Well,
I mean, I gotta fucking write it now.
like, do
Homework.
tell him, oh god.
Did you find out it was ghost written?
What? Like, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Ghost written means written by a ghost. No, I'm just kidding. Ghost written basically is like you pay an actor to write your book for you. You pay someone to write your book for you, and then you slap your name on it. And what's funny is this isn't even illegal. Like, there are contracts.
Oh,
for
I thought it was
and
going to
stuff
be the other way around. Like, you actually just start narrating it to the gentleman who's writing it. Technically, it was
That-
written by him.
That's what, no. Whenever you see dictated but not read, that's
Yeah.
what that means.
Oh, okay.
You've seen James Patterson books, right, in stores?
Sure.
So, like, there are about 1 million of them. He has not written a book in fucking decades. He just sells his name to throw on fucking struggling authors that he thinks their stories are good. It's his whole fucking publication.
You said that was illegal?
No, it's legal. It's perfectly legal.
Hmm.
There are it's how most people do their memoirs. Most people were like, will pay a ghostwriter, and then they'll slap their name on it to make them sound smart. Like, well, look at this book I wrote about me. Look at my memoirs. Even though they're like a football player, it's like a very eloquent, like, and it's just sort of like, did you?
You never once ever talked like this. So, is it written in stone? Is it not written in stone? I'm very confused. I was under the notion that since we know he got the book, everything's gonna work out. But here we are. Magnus is telling us it's
Not Magnus.
No, sorry. Chikern is also telling us it's not in stone.
Yeah. Chikern sort of just made a backdoor of Magnus's whole thing.
Yeah,
He got permission. He said Finders Keepers rules.
he did.
I don't have the answer to this, Korvac. We can just...
And just violently shake. Why?
I have a good question, though.
What's that?
How do we, leave?
Not even on my radar right now. Honestly. That's a good question. The door?
Just go back down? But we were told not to go back
That
way.
ladder doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, we were bamfed to that location at the top of the ladder.
Hello, is there anybody like a friendly computer man that could help us?
It wouldn't be that easy, come on. What the fuck's a computer? Anyways,
Frederick was a representation of the tower, which you are not on anymore.
so I also saw I have 2 more brothers. Which means, while not set in stone,
Your mom fucks?
my mom fucks. Which means they had,
Maybe these are multiple futures.
what's a multiple future?
What if there's one path where you have another brother, with one path you have that brother? Or there's one path where she dies? Nothing is set in stone. Maybe you have more children than what I said. Maybe you have less. Maybe they're not yours.
This is probably why we don't want the note.
Exactly.
'Cause what does this do for us other than slowly drive us insane of what if?
You're right. But Magnus and Chikern showed us this. It just doesn't feel like we should just ignore it. They're good things, right, Mac? These visions.
Roll insight, the both of you.
23.
10.
You would give me I thought it was good. He's showing you potential future. He's giving you a reason to keep fighting. He's showing you, hey, the best is yet to come. If you work hard, maybe. But maybe one of you might have to work a little harder than the other. Maybe one of you might not get there. Maybe this future isn't full for one of the other one. Maybe some other things will happen. His meddling alters things. Your meddling here alters things. Things are constantly being altered. It's good that you have these potentials. It's good that you should work forward. But continue pushing forward so that you can get to these potentials as you continuously have. Because if not, it's just assumption of oh no, we'll be fine. Well, you won't do the things that you needed to do to succeed.
It was also a hint that one of us would have to, or maybe he was just saying hypothetically, one of us would have to die.
Some of us could have had good futures. Or maybe only one of us. Maybe somebody has to sacrifice themselves. Ultimately, this answer is nothing.
Precisely. You still have that other matter of how the fuck do you get home?
Which one of us then? If we had to choose, no, we can't talk about that. There's no way we can talk about it.
This
There's only
is
2
exactly what he just talked about. He's like, this is why you don't do these things. Because now you're making the discussion now.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what the fucking circumstances are.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could just die of a heart attack at like age 50.
Remember the fucking fight with Kira? Like, you don't know what you needed to win.
Nope.
So, let's just... It's kind of what he was pointing at, like... It's an elite club. Like, there's a reason why this is hard to do. Like, we are powerful people. Like, we have to overcome this.
You can't just bring up a peasant farmer. Look at this stupid idiot. I bet he doesn't know what's going on.
Potatoes. Potatoes.
He just evolves.
Potatoes. 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 Every day it's just more potatoes. And eventually I marry my daughter off to some person for some money.
I thought he was gonna say he married his daughter for a second.
Look, I'm not talking about how hard the winter might be, but like, his future's not set in stone. I've established this.
Oh God.
So,
Um.
you're trapped on the moon.
Yep. That's I didn't find a door. I got kind of distracted.
I love the fact that you thought you would find a door to outside.
Yep.
That the most powerful wizard to ever exist
Yep.
was like, I could just phase shift through any wall, but I should probably make a door that lets all my oxygen out.
Yeah. It's called an analog.
Why would he use that when he's magic?
Oh God.
He can just shift into the ethereal sea, walk 5 feet to the left, and come back out. He could blink, he could dimension door, he could teleport, he could phase shift, he could turn ethereal. There's 1,000 ways to go outside.
Don't tell me this now.
Dimension
You know how
door.
many dungeons we've been in where that could have been a possibility.
Yeah, it's not my fault you guys don't read the book. You gotta read the book. That's why I read the book. Like, what was it, fucking Jacob Walker's like, you're just reading the PHP? Yeah. How do I know there's a potential unless I read what the fucking spells are?
No, it says specifically in Monkey get to just do that.
So what do you do, boys?
How do we get out?
Where do you go? Cotton Eye Joe.
Can I find, like, evidence of a teleporter? Or a teleportation circle, I should say.
Roll investigation. Or Arcanum. Your choice.
What am I higher in? I think it's investigation. I get advantage in investigation, so yeah, probably. There's gonna be investigation 18.
There's not. But curiously, there's not, isn't there? It's almost bizarre at this point.
Why the fuck?
Why wouldn't there be a teleportation circle in here? What's going on?
Is there any other buildings outside?
Can I maybe insight into that to see if I can, like, get a little bit more? Jesus.
Luckily, it wasn't one of my dice.
Yeah, that would be gone.
17.
Almost killed myself once with these things.
That was 20 minutes ago. It means something, but you're not entirely sure. The absence of a teleportation circle is more striking. Like, even a guy that could teleport pretty much at will would still have a teleportation circle just in case.
Why isn't there a teleportation circle, Korvac?
There's no teleportation circle?
No. Why would he not have one?
Is this a prison?
That is not a bad
Welcome to the elite club. It's called prison, bitch.
Now that we've given you such insight, you cannot leave now.
This is the sacrifice so that the elders may rub their...
Well, obviously Chakern left.
What if it's a really big...
Obviously, Magnus left.
What if it's a really big teleportation circle? And we just can't see here inside because it's outside. It's like encompassing the whole building.
I don't
Roll
think
insight,
so.
Corvac.
10.
Place is magic.
Place is magic. Alright.
Roll arcane, Thomas. Sorry, Mac. Thank you for not throwing it backwards.
Throwing it back. 27.
You look around the room and the whole place is a teleportation circle.
So Korvac was close?
No, you see runes around the outside of the room. You see like that most of this place is magically charged. You just have to say where you want to go.
I think we can just teleport out.
So I was right. Where is it?
This is
Like you kind of look and there's something on the floor over there. There's something on the wall over there. You kind of slowly put the pieces together like, no, hold on. The teleportation circle is the circle of the room. If you just want to go at any point, you're free to do so.
Where do you want to teleport to, Korvac?
How much time do we have?
About 5 hours. I'll say 5.5 hours.
Hard to say when I'm on the moon.
Oh, hold on. Let me put in the formula for time dilation.
Yeah.
I have a table for it. I'm like a pretty good DM. 5.5 hours. In 7 minutes.
I mean, I could suggest we visit the Spire. Maybe the brightest minds in Pangaea could give us a little bit more insight on how to deal with the
Those
Thorian.
brightest minds are like fucking rioting and like throwing people down like pits and like having fires right now. Nothing works! Everything we've based our entire life on's a lie!
Well,
Yeah.
maybe at least go to a wizard that's probably not freaking out right now.
Or maybe they need your guidance. Who knows?
Hey,
The world leaders are also gathering in one
you
place.
know, there is one wizard who probably hasn't figured out that he doesn't have magic yet.
Ooh.
The one in the clock in the library in Rosalama. He's probably still reading a book, like, and we get to break the news to him.
What? This was a really good book.
Oh, the one who was in like the super private chamber?
Yeah, the one that, the super private chamber, like, in the constellations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
I just realized when druidic magic disappeared for a little bit, there must have been a lot of like elves that just suddenly disintegrated.
Oh, fuck.
Why do you think they lost a lot of their population?
Holy shit. Holy shit, how many druids in general was that?
How about Bergelmere and Vesla?
To do that.
Didn't we? Well, we came to the assumption that, hey, maybe.
He's kind of just been doing his own thing about that. That arc is kind of unspooled because of that, because he's not there to witness it through his eyes. But yeah, lots of people died. There were some people who that was pretty much the thing keeping them together.
Sounds like everywhere's for go is just gonna be carnage.
That's what happens.
Can't go to the place that has an anti-magic field around it. Probably won't be able to do much in Farewell, and we won't be able to do much in the Spire, because I imagine they're probably losing their minds too.
The armies gather around your button. Most of the world leaders are there,
Yeah.
putting a defense. In fact, most of the important people of the Spire were already there when it happened.
Oh.
Because everyone was gathering there.
Yeah.
Pretty much just a skeleton crew operating everywhere right now.
Maybe we're just overthinking who we go to. Is there like an Eternal we should go talk to? Someone who might be able to give us insight?
We don't know what exactly has happened with the Eternal Dragon.
You know he's been places.
He's been places.
He helped you fight, and he helped the World Serpent.
Yep.
When the World Serpent was attacked, he fought back.
Right.
Which was kind of like, now that that's all put out,
Yeah.
the war's been going on now.
Yeah.
Here's that first blow. Ever since he killed Crench, he unknowingly killed the champion of Jakern.
Hey, wait a minute. spy on Zerker.
Sure.
I doubt we can help him because it's kind of a stealth mission, but we can at least check up on him. And I'm going to try to. Well, can I scry from up here?
You attempt, and it's nothing but static.
Okay, can't do that.
The entire eye is just. You're like, nope, don't like this.
This sucks.
Kind of hurts a little in my brain.
Oh God. All right, let's. Do you want to go back to the button, or do you want to take one more night in Brian's, or do you want to go to Backstreet, places that assumably are on fire?
What if we had? Do you think there's time to have a council of all of the Eternals?
No, I imagine that takes a long time to get them all together.
There's only one place in the world to do that.
Yeah.
That's that Leviathan chamber.
There's just some that cannot exist anywhere else. Like, you couldn't ask the Phoenix to go underneath the water. You know?
There is one person, one Eternal, that seems more gung-ho to help us than anybody else.
Who's that?
Keith.
You want to talk to Keith
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anybody to talk to.
after everything? We could talk to Keith. You have a way to get us back to the button, no problem?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you still got a long rest time.
Yep.
Because that 5 hours does include padding for the long rest, of
Okay.
course.
So, without further ado, shall we teleport to outside Keith's?
Yeah.
We'll take our break there. That also gives you guys time, because I know that was just a curveball you came up with.
I need
To
to
think-
use the bathroom.
I also need to use the bathroom.
I'm dehydrated.
It's not so much
Same.
the curveball than what I would think it is, but we'll discuss that when we come back.
You're going to try to input your new knowledge that you just based off of your time travel to kind of correlate with him?
There's a lot of questions I'm going to ask him. Specifically, I have a supercomputer that can do math and understands astrophysics.
Astro Boy?
Astro Boy?
How
That's
do you-
that's
Speed Racer?
That's a throwback, man. You're from like the 20s.
We'll be right back. I exist outside of time.
Release
some words, gentlemen.
Hello.
Don't want to bum 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 bum.
I want to munch.
Squad?
Pull up. Pull up.
I'm really glad you said pull up.
Mm.
I thought you were gonna say racial slur for a Polish person.
Oh fuck.
Bird slur.
It's okay. I have a Polish friend. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
I got a card.
Oh my god. Alright, so, I'm rewatching some of the Actuallys just for like background noise because I've forgotten most of them. And there's some pretty fun anecdotes in there. I forgot my favorite one where they have a fan on, and like normally the fans are pretty like normal, like, oh, I'm just... And then the last one was basically the comic book store nerd from The Simpsons, this like really heavy guy who's just like gets everything right. It ends up being 109 if I'm not mistaken. And the entire time he's just like, everybody's just like, yep, kind of being a bit insufferable. But my favorite was, I think it's one of the things that you like, one of the series, there's like a magical color called octarine that only wizards and cats can see.
The Owl House?
Yeah. So there's like, oh, basically the question, because you know the rules of them actually. The thing was, you know, the color octarine, yada yada, from this thing, yada yada yada, only wizards can see it. And the correction was, cats can also see it. But the guy immediately rings in and he's just like, I'm sorry, I don't think it's octarine, I think it's octoroon. And then immediately the host goes, no, I'm sorry, octoroon is a racial slur for someone who's 1/8 black. And then no one says anything, and then they just continue, and it's just like, so no one's gonna make any comment on that horribly, like, just, hold on, did you just suggest a racial slur as the answer? It's like, no, we're just gonna keep moving on. It's just like, okay, good.
It's a very specific slur, though.
Yeah, oh my god, like, we've talked about this with, like, Community and everything else, like, there are just people who just make a sport of it. You know,
Jesus.
like, Scandinavian dog!
You've been mixing with Laplanders. You're basically Finnish.
The unseasonably tan!
Oh my god.
Alright, gentlemen. Realizing that the tower is a teleportation circle in and of itself, you magically whisk yourself away to outside the entranceway to Keats. As you know, going inside is impossible. And before you sits that always ever cloudy stone temple housing the big man himself, protected by the Great Seal.
What's up, Seal?
And the door opens.
Nice. He's pretty jacked.
He's also gigantic, if you remember.
And you just imagine a giant, pale, all shots. Like, just like, his head's shiny, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is good.
You open the door, you have that giant blank room of opening pillars. You walk your way in until you find the stairways down, and until it just leads into a giant walkway that leads into an ethereal nothingness void. Make your way through, and you travel for what seems like a few seconds. And he interrupts you faster than he normally does. Normally likes to savor, but he almost immediately appears behind you both. You two have discovered some things you should not have discovered.
Should not.
Well, you know, maybe it was of course part of the plan, but still, maybe you should not have heard those things. Knowing that you were going to eventually, still, do you mind just shuffling that, pushing it slightly towards me? Yes, that should be good.
Don't drink from the lead-lined cup.
It's mine.
Also, turn, actually, better solution.
Better solution.
Just turn the master volume up.
Ooh,
There we go.
there we go. That sounds good.
Sorry if it was quiet earlier.
So, yes, we learned a lot since the last time we saw.
She's taking her seat.
She's in the dice cam.
She's in the dice cam? Yes, she is.
It's the Marnie cam.
So you see everything that we've seen. You got everything we've seen.
Yes.
Yeah. We've been on the moon.
Yes.
We saw your first meeting with Chakern.
And foreseeably my last.
Yep.
We know about Chakard.
Yes.
We figured out. We figured out that we think it was Chakard that was asking you about, us.
Yeah, it was.
You actually just confirmed it.
Well, I mean, why beat around the bush? You know it to be true.
I just wasn't sure.
Well, I'm still forbid to tell other things, but you already know it to be true, so why?
Oh.
I mean, we're kind of here to, parlay maybe with the, Praetorian more than anything else. Not fight him, but talk to you about him.
That is not outside any parameters set up prior.
We also realized something else.
Oh?
The Eternals can attack the Praetorian now.
That is correct.
Because he attacked the Eternals.
Correct.
So, I'm not going to beat around the bush either. He's currently up in space.
Correct.
He does not have access to magic.
Correct.
He is currently technically at his weakest.
Correct. No technically required.
I want to figure out if there's a way we can stop him from returning to Pangaea.
Anything you can do, someone else can as well.
Is that meant to be a deterrent, or...?
Correct. If you can do something, someone else can do something to counter that something. Wish is no longer a constraint to the good people. Chakern learned. The Praetorian learned as well. It is an unknown factor whether he taught other people. You may wish him further, they may wish him back. Also, the Praetorian has a cult-like following. Many would teleport themselves into the nothingness to teleport him back.
So it'd just be a temporary solution like I thought.
Not to say it's not a bad idea,
I think you're...
but every idea always has a solution. No problem is truly unsolvable. If anything, in our time together and the things you've seen, of course that has been proven to you, yes?
Yeah. Kind of just turned to Korvac. You know what really fucking sucks?
What?
The fact that, it's taken us this long to actually know how to ask Keith questions.
Absolutely.
I mean, unfortunately, the power of naivety, we don't have any anymore.
Trial and error is the only way to progress. There's nothing wrong with failure. Only as you acknowledge that you're moving forward. Looks like yes. That's not the only thing you wish to discuss. Korvac, you look...
Would you be able to drop a really good hint for the mages in the world how to tap into the arcane?
Yes.
Could you just tell me right now? Just tell me what that hint is. I'll pass it along.
Okay. He goes forward and just like... Learn.
So obviously Chakern was able to tap into it.
Correct.
And we know the Praetorian acts as the bridge between.
Correct.
Is there a way to maybe create, a replacement Praetorian
Yes.
that doesn't turn into a genocidal maniac?
Yes.
Can I know how to? Is it something achievable within the time constraints we have left?
Yes.
How do I do it?
You can't.
Who can?
Please don't say Chakern. Don't say Chakern. That is a pickle. Could it be done? Yes. But it required the culmination of multiple parties. Not just you. It would require an infinite amount of ideals, processes, and actions and functions that for me to fully describe, by the time I was done, the event would have already taken place.
So
Have faith. Follow the path. It's all part of the plan.
I'm just having a mental.
I'm getting red pills.
I wrote the fucking book that started this.
Correct.
You know how we got the book? Don't say from me, please.
From you.
How did I give it to him?
You handed it to him.
How did I get there? Or how did he come to me?
He was there.
How?
The journey is part of the story. For me to tell you would ruin you writing the story, and is outside of my parameters for telling you.
It'd probably create like a paradox as well.
There was so much you told me not to tell you, and I am very agreeable.
Isn't just having the knowledge of the book kind of a paradox?
Yes. Which is why he told you to have faith and not let anyone tell you it's not set in stone.
It's nothing related to this. I just immediately thought, have I rung the bell yet?
I mean, you could try if you want.
I'm gonna try ringing the bell. God damn it!
I mean, every session. It's good to keep it going every session.
I mean, I even have more personal questions for you.
You have several hours. And where would you be if not here?
Yelling at wizards that don't have powers anymore to get powers again?
On the front line. Discussing with the world leaders who are waiting for you. And they'll be there in time. For now, satiate your curiosity. That's what I'm here for. And I'm happy to do so.
So we saw, you know of the paintings in Chicago.
And I was also there.
Yes, but I'm looking for your perspective.
It's like, I love this. Like, you know I know. You know I've seen it. It's just like, I was there, so you don't need to like, yeah? So you've seen this moment because I've seen it. I'm like, the moment I was there for?
No, he has two perspectives.
He has infinite perspectives constantly.
I don't like that.
It's tough.
What was it about Shakern that attracted you? Turned you around almost. Because you seemed quite upset.
He came to me.
That's it? I mean, you're very agreeable. Did he just tell you to stop being upset?
Imagine a world modifiable by one being, constructing a realm unapproachable by any mortal being. And yet he decided to approach. Did he ask me to help him? Did he ask me to fix anything? He came to help me. And he was not afraid. And he taught me. And he helped me learn. And from there, anytime someone comes, I learn a little more. And is that not my purpose? Does that not help?
I would say that definitely helps.
It added a lot of context to you that I didn't appreciate beforehand.
It's hard to understand what one does not understand.
It's almost in a fucked up way. We didn't see you as a being, if that makes sense.
Most do not.
Not one with emotion, anyways.
And yet I create worlds to live in. If I had no emotions, I'd be in the dark. And okay with that.
Well, that's kind of how we perceived it the first time.
He did tell you the first time you were there, when he showed you the worlds that he created and the simulations, that he would live in those.
Okay.
And experience those in their entirety.
Right.
And that even the moments you don't visit him, he's spent maybe millennia away, living through simulations of other worlds.
Right.
Gaining and learning more perspectives, so that his views on everything can be even more fine-tuned.
Yeah, he's very agreeable.
Every Pandria ends. That was another thing he said a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then you guys took that as every Pandria was doomed, and then it's just like, everything ends. Even if you've made it to the end of your universe, when the universe ends, everything's going to eventually hit entropy.
How does he cope with that? How do you cope with that knowledge?
What knowledge?
That everything ends.
Because anything that begins has to.
But you are going to witness it.
And I'll witness it again. And again. And again. And every time I do, someone else gets a little bit more. It could be 5 seconds. It could be a millennia. Deferring the inevitable. Is that not what the purpose of life is? To leave your mark by putting yourself in the ground and saying, no, this is where I stand. My purpose, to save worlds. I know that purpose was impossible. But he showed me that saving wasn't merely keeping alive forever. Saving goes beyond that. If you haven't lived, dying is meaningless. Many who died never lived, failed to see it. Sometimes saving is simply helping live, helping see that. Just helping. You look like you had something to say, Mac.
I'm just the infinite ponderer now. What happens when if the button is pressed tomorrow?
I cannot tell you that. Only that it must not be pressed under any circumstances. Not by you or him.
Do you die as well?
I cannot answer that.
It's too dangerous still. Even after we take care of the Praetorian, is there a way to remove it?
Things of that matter will become clear once the Praetorian threat has been dealt with. If the Praetorian threat has been dealt with. Or it might not become of concern because it will no longer be of concern.
I can't think. It's one of the things, I trust the process that Crunch, Kacharan, Quarf, they all do. It's just the button seems so dangerous. I must think it must be like a way to attract the Praetorian to it. That must be the only reason it exists.
What do you mean?
You think it's a bait?
Yeah. I can't see any other perspective on it. Why would Crinch make something like that? It basically guarantees the Praetorian victory.
Because the threat was not simply from the Praetorian. Something out there, an entity, is destroying worlds. You've witnessed this. Vincent's world. Someone attacked it from the outside. Entities are actively engaging in the destruction of other worlds. This was a dump for how many tools that you've gathered from other worlds, other universes, other Pangeas. Your abilities came from one. Your tools came from one. The more the worlds get polluted, eventually maybe that pollutant can go other places. Maybe sometimes contamination is required to stop further pollution to other universes. They saw in terms of the scale of a multi-universal perspective. And if the buck needed to be stopped, sometimes it needed to be. This defense was set in for that purpose.
But trust the plan.
Trust the plan.
What's your perspective on Malin? Do you think he'll turn up tomorrow?
He has to.
But whose side will he be on?
I don't even know if he knows. But I do not know, for I have never been in his head.
But, as everybody has said, do you think it's best to just leave him out there contemplating?
When you are at your boiling point, when you are at your point of most volatility, from the outside you may think, I want help. I want someone to come and talk to me. The person that comes and help me will truly help me. That's what you think. But oftentimes, the first person to come to you in a moment of anger is the person you lash out at most. The messenger in this point will be the bereavement. The person who he thinks will be trying to tip the scale. Let him be the one who decides. For much of his life has been decided for him, up to this point.
Yeah, let him stew on it.
It's like talking to a therapist, isn't it?
He ain't got all the answers. He's just a machine.
Just talking to Cleverbot.
AskJeeves.com.
Alexa, play Despacito.
Korvac,
Yeah.
you're quiet.
I'm hearing a lot of we're doing all right. Nothing to really alter. We leave Malin alone. We go back to the button, consult with the wizards there.
Not just wizards, world leaders.
World leaders, of course. Everywhere we ask, even when we look for better solutions, we're told thus far, we have it. And that we still have to fight for it, and it's not set in stone. Should we be focusing on just using what we have?
You are a hunter, yes? Before you go on a hunt, do you tell the person with you everything that is necessary to do on the hunt? Or do you do it when the moment calls for it? Because that's when it requires you to act. You don't tell everybody, alright, we'll be hunting and a deer will approach, And then on that deer, you're gonna want to make sure you avoid that stick, and you want to make sure you
Oh,
stay above
because
wind.
you can't predict everything. There's too much.
Correct. When the moment comes, you know when someone is capable. You can teach many people, as you've hunted yourself. When you looked upon Kaylin for the first time, you knew you did not need to teach her anything about hunting, and that in fact you might learn something from her.
Yeah.
And that is how they view you. Anything can happen, but they trust that you're now capable of handling it. You have the tools, not just the items at your belt, but the wisdom of the experiences of your failures and successes.
Yeah. To summarize, that's what I said. Do you sometimes, this is a bit off topic here, do you build worlds with Chikern in it?
Every world has some sort of Chikern. Every world has some sort of Korvac. As unique as we are, in the infinite possibility, there's still only so many possibilities. And sometimes, they may appear as echoes, but there's still traces. And sometimes, those echoes are more exact replicas than others. I'm not ashamed to say that I miss the man, as I miss you all when you are not here. As you are good friends.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you for being good friends.
We hope we can keep coming back afterwards.
As do I.
Last question, I think, from me. I know Eternals aren't really supposed to enter your realm. If you had to pick one, though, could we bring one to you in the future?
Eternals are allowed to enter my realm.
Just the curator the first time you didn't want to step in.
That was a personal matter. It is merely the Praetorian that is not allowed to enter my domain.
Okay.
Could it be rude of us to ask what that personal matter was?
He kind of specified, the curator himself, there was a sort of difference of opinions on a bunch of
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Because
One can actively see timelines, and
one
the other
is
one,
playing with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they both do it in different manners, and they both kind of act in both conflict, but in the same time they both do the same things. So it's sort of like... Let me put it from this perspective. Keith can see everything that anyone else has seen, correct?
Yeah.
What does the curator see?
Everything.
The timeline.
Yeah.
The curator sees the raw timeline. Keith is off limits because he can't access that level of shit. The curator is actively keeping his distance so that Keith can't see everything. Because if Keith could see anything, he basically would ultimately become like... Yeah.
Omnipotent.
Yeah.
Professor Privet's level.
Maybe not there, but like... I'm supposed to be not in this fight for obvious reasons.
Huh. That's 2 Eternals we've turned into gods.
You're not supposed to cross the streams, you guys!
You don't have to worry about taking care of us if you're no longer here.
You go to the curator for the
No
future.
doubt about it.
You go to the curator for the future. You go to Keith for the present.
You go to the past. Ancient Dragon.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's good.
You got everybody. You got the whole thing.
So, I'm sure you already know my question about the Praetorian. Can he? Is there something left in him that we can pull him back? Obviously, his parents believed in humanity. They seem to be right bloody good sports to the, the promise. We fucked shit up pretty bad.
He had a twisted view before it could be corrected by his parents. So the view was skewed even further. At this point, it's no longer just about the lust for the destruction of the entire sentient life other than those he deems fit, but also a lust for power over all these things, which he slowly gathered. He's not just a corrupted, he's a corrupter. He's escalated. He's not like Malin. He's the reason why Malin is Malin. Once you've been sorry, go ahead.
He was someone that had everything taken from him. Of course, his immediate perspective is to want to control everything, and then you can never have that taken away again.
Which is what he's already had. Especially when he believes he's a few steps away from godhood.
Second thought about that godhood bit.
You said you had no more.
I
will
know,
not talk
I know
to
you would. I knew you would.
but if he did become a god, the gods would have to get involved, wouldn't they not? But that would just probably be
It stops being our
horrible.
problem.
Yeah, stops being our problem. No, it would probably wreak a lot of destruction having
The
that many.
agreement of the Pantheons is that they cannot interfere on the mortal plane.
Right. Does he step foot on that agreement when he becomes a god?
It is not an issue of the mortal plane anymore.
Okay.
Oh god, that'd become an issue of the multiverse.
Yes. Correct.
Welcome to our D&D campaign. We destroy D&D.
Oh my god, the Pantheon. Oh fuck.
A second Praetorian has hit the Pantheon.
God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. Alright, well. And if that happened, Keith,
Yes.
would this Pangier just explode? I'm just saying, it's a lot of action going on, godly actions.
He's already declared that he wishes to reforge this Earth, this Pangier, not Earth, this Pangier, this world in fire,
Mm-hmm.
in an image of his own creation. If he assumes this level of godhood, and clearly states that he wishes to go against the Pantheon's wishes, and the agreement of the Pantheon to no longer feel in the mortal plane, it is clear that he wishes to also go to war with the Pantheon.
Oh. Does he think he could possibly do that?
The gods get the power from the mortal plane.
Uh-huh.
The gods get the power from those who worship them. If the mortal plane is reforged in a way that only those who worship him are left alive, the gods are weak, and he is strong. No one left to worship them, only those worshipping the Praetorian. The world will be given to them, as he will be the only benefactor left to give boons.
He controls the flow.
And then there's nothing left to stop this evil from spreading outside into other worlds.
So we're gonna need all the hope that we can get tomorrow.
Point of inspiration. That was good. So we're gonna do all the help we can get tomorrow. Oh god, I didn't realize that much was on the line here. I was like, how? How could he fight the gods? Oh yeah, no one's gonna be worshipping them anymore because they're all fucking dead.
So we're gonna need the help of every single, able-bodied person. Obviously, the wizards got to figure out how to tap into the, ley lines on their own. But how about them paladins? How about them clerics? As you know, there's the dome covering, Pangier.
Do you want good news or do you want me to tell you the truth?
Tell me the truth. Impossible because the Praetorians still exist, right?
It's not something.
Sorry, hold on.
He just switches us to a
We're catnap, Drew. Follow the logic. Druids have lost their magic. They've gained it back, but they lost it. He squelched the wizards. If the hold was put on paladin and cleric level magic, and then was shown to be tightened later, it only makes sense that it can be tightened further and squelched completely. If my assumptions are correct, shortly before the final battle, paladins and clerics will lose all power.
And warlocks.
Correct. Bards will be the last line of defense. Some druids will have their magic for the final fight, but it will be slow going for the entirety.
Would sorcerers still have magic, or?
Some. It depends on where they draw their power from.
Would Tybalt?
Yes.
You think there's a quick and, dirty way for us to, destroy this before, the final battle? There's no way he could put this back together immediately.
Well, I think that's what he was telling us, is that he can just strengthen it once more at a whim.
There are many things I could tell you. There are many things that I could explain that are unfathomable to you. There are things that I cannot discuss based off of my parameters. There's only one simple thing that I can say that I hope will provide confidence in this time. Trust the plan.
Okay.
You're on the right course. You always have been, the both of you. You continue to follow that path. You get others to follow the path as well. You mold the path to your liking.
Last question, sorry.
For the third time,
I know.
let us hear the final question.
So we lost the orb of disarmament.
Correct.
You think a wish spell would be able to disable it?
No.
Damn.
Well, maybe. But you wield something that already is capable of disarming that. You. Personally.
Talks to the blood chrysalis real quick. He's talking about you.
I've been thinking about this, and I think I'm capable of creating a bubble of protection around you.
And?
Using your blood.
What do you mean, and?
Just me?
No. A bubble of protection around you, centered around you.
Oh, I see. How much we talking?
This one. This one is on the house for services rendered. And those great service. And you've promised to give me your life. Mine. Sorry. You promised...
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, I know, that was really fucked up sounding. You promised to give me my life back. I was thinking of him in the third person when I was thinking about it.
Marta kept his
You-
Balin.
I know, right? You promised to give me my life back.
Yeah.
To help you as much as I can to see that goal through to the end. That's what I'm obligated to do. Not out of kinship from weapon to person,
Okay.
but from friend to friend.
Thank you. Here, I thought I was gonna have to ask Lore to help me.
Oh,
Please talk to me! Please! I'm so hungry for contact!
I think Lore is going to be very helpful, and I think you could do more to discuss with Lore. He has perspectives I do not. But remember, I have perspectives as well,
Right.
and I'm always here, and I'm always happy to help, as I always have.
Man, I need to talk to you more.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
In
I get wrapped
in
up.
episode like third from the last, it's really glad you realized how much you should have started talking.
I'm sorry, if we had any insight earlier in the campaign, we should have gotten Torque tattooed on Korvax's arm. Talk to the blood crystal.
Much like he's just pressing the button you should be like, yo, Blood Crystalist, what can you help me with? Because like he said last session, yeah, I pretty much have a solution, or not a solution, but something in the help. Every time you ask for it.
Yeah.
Every time you ask for something, I'm like, yeah, I got something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Next time.
Next time.
I'm gonna, sit down and just ponder for a minute. And then I'm gonna, as I assume Josh is yelling at the blood chrysalis.
He has a conversation interpersonally that takes no time at all. Thank you very much.
I miss when Korvax would just talk to him.
It's just saying out loud. Well, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
You know my mother? What are you talking about? I'm having a conversation!
That was pretty fun for
I
a
know
while.
it's an instantaneous
It's
thing.
just like, you don't have to speak aloud. I'm in your head. Oh, okay.
Oh, this is a lot faster.
I know it's an instantaneous conversation, but I always imagine when Korvax's talking to the blood crystals, he has the Jack Nicholson stare going on.
Hey, Korvac? What?
I'm gonna ask you sort of an open question. You've done so much for us. Is there something we can do for you? Is there something we can do to be agreeable? You're looking at the man with the power of the wish spell.
You can do for me the entirety of the world by simply doing what you already planned to do.
Okay, fair. Would you like a 25,000 gold gauntlet?
Money is of no importance to me.
What about something more important?
You know why? Oh, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say a promise that somebody would visit you, kind of 10 years.
Unnecessary.
I will curse the
You
Fleetfoot
can't
line.
see outside, can you?
You all seem to fail to remember what that meeting, that final meeting with me was about. Between me and Chakern. I was locked away for a specific reason. Do you remember?
I mean, you're too agreeable, and it would be.
Yes.
It'd be devastating to the world for you to be out.
If Malin or the Praetorian were to manipulate me.
Right.
And you
But
know-
if your task is complete, if the Praetorian is gone, if Malin's no longer a threat, if those forces of evil are gone, the parameters shackling me inside here are gone as well. My prison was built to protect me from them.
where would you go?
That is an impossible question. For I will go everywhere.
You'll come visit us, though, right?
Yes.
Presumably, will you help me give the book to Chakern? That's what I'm guessing!
I am impossible to answer.
Oh God.
What?
Are we just a reality? We're real,
What?
right? Are we real or are we just one of your realities?
You're real.
Korvac, like, I'm asked to leave the room and Korvac's actually just been an insane asylum this entire... You have to let go, Korvac. Mac was an accident.
Reality 237. No go. Alright, and that's it for this campaign, guys. We'll see you next time.
We only had like 2 episodes left. Why did you have to ask that?
I found the TV. That was an interesting one.
Self-awareness realized before ending. Show canceled.
God, if that was the answer to like everything, like campaign 2 would be just birds speed run to the same conclusion. Alright, Josh, we gotta think about it. How do we get the birds into the same position that Korvac and Mac was in like a fourth of the time? The birdos.
I remember that episode. Alright, let's get back on track.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm actually out of questions now.
Who's the biggest and the strongest?
One of the Eternals, for sure.
I'll kill him. Who is it?
Your fucking final quest is just being Kratos from God of War.
I know you all have a lot in your heart, and I know you have many questions. The fear to ask is a worse poison than death. If you have something you wish to ask, truly, now is finally the time. You know where you go tomorrow. You know what you go to sleep to wake up to.
I have one more casting of wish left before the final battle, and it's the chess piece mover. Is there any wish you can think of that would...
Something that would leave you greatly depowered for the final fight?
There's some of the tea left.
No, remember it takes several days.
I mean, I'm still asking.
Moments before the battle, you know that there are reductions and potentials and damage that you could give yourself or others. Maybe that could be foreseeable. You know the type of damage your opponents will be doing. But at the same time, you also know that a great battle is about to happen. Maybe you save it for some great healing. Think not of the people in this room, but in the people in the great wide open of the battle that is about to become.
If only I could, like, make psychic scream on, like, a fucking battlefield level.
Maybe something to ponder with those around you. The bards will basically be your strongest line of defense at this point.
Should I go teach speed run the bard colleges and teach psychic scream?
Once again, everyone that is fighting is already at the front line. There's no more going to other locations. It's the final moment in any Final Fantasy. every NPC that's worth talking to has regathered themselves in that final little fucking meeting room where you get to converse with them. That's the moment we're at, guys. They're not at the colleges anymore.
Tamlin, is he 100% wizard or is he multi-classed?
He's multi-classed.
So,
He's part sorcerer, part wizard.
so he'll still have some power.
Yes.
Okay. That's something I've been thinking about.
And he's there with you guys.
We're gonna get the Halifax explosion.
Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe.
I think I'm pretty sure I'm exhausted of questions. Anything else would just be curiosities I'm bouncing off of Keith. Do you agree?
And what's wrong with that?
I mean, I could do it for an eternity.
And yet you've barely dabbled in it.
What's his daughter gonna do?
His daughter?
Yeah, is she gonna become some famous musician or something?
Well, foreseeably, well, I don't wish to put labels on it. To say a thing might give false hopes. But the music will continue in the Mac Fleetfoot family, and will follow down the line. And some of its people. Just like your traditions will follow yours.
Yeah, I've been kind of worried that there's going to be some fallout with how things have been organized. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but with Sten having a son, I know he promised that that son will still have its own mind.
Do you know what fear or concern for a topic that may or may not happen does?
Oh, we're just merely shooting the breeze right now.
Well, well, anytime you ponder a potential, do you know what you do?
No.
You feed the fire of its potential. You stoke the flames. Any actions you take in the concern that Sten might overthrow you, simply give him reason to do so. He's done nothing. Show loyalty and be familiar. He's done nothing but say that there's no concern. You have done nothing but show that your offspring will be spectacular. Have faith in them. Live your life, not theirs. You may have these concerns, but that will only create tensions and create reason for them to wish to do so. Let the cards lie where they may, and as they are claimed to be, because that is where loyalties lie currently.
Okay.
You haven't even met your children.
No.
Let them choose their destinies before we start intermingling with them. You'll be surprised. Everyone always is.
Okay. Thought we could talk about potentials, but...
You told me you were going to ask your final question 6 questions ago.
I did. Then you're like, the questions you don't ask. The deepest poison? Something like that, right?
Yes. And you keep saying final question.
I do. But then a new one comes up.
I have my final question.
There it is.
I presume you know everything about the book, My Friend Crench.
Correct.
Are there any criticisms you have? Maybe is there anything you think's a bit hokey?
You were very preachy in the beginning, a little self-aggrandizing. There's a few parts where, like, gerunds were misused. Also, run-on sentences, please. The use of proper commas. Other than that is a wonderful story.
Oh my god, run-on sentences? What are those?
You're a fucking king!
What's a run-on sentence? guys. I just got the message from the king. There are 3 periods in this 500-word document.
I love it.
It appears to be written in crayon.
Well, there are many criticisms and everything, but none worth stating. It is a good story.
It's enough to motivate at least one man.
Please be you.
I usually am.
No. It's just like, please be the person I'm motivated. Be you. Oh, I see what you meant. You meant Shakern.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying the statement I said was motivating enough for one person. I'm like, you? To write the book? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm not gonna write the book.
No, I don't think I'm gonna.
Everything disintegrates.
I think I'm gonna go into garbage collection.
Korvac starts fading away. I have power over you now. Don't ever cross me.
Come on, write some of it. I want my
Mark,
shoulder.
Mark, please write the book.
Come on, man! Come on, they gotta know. They gotta know.
My mom disappeared, dude.
You brought her back.
And I can take her away.
He kind of looks back and forth to both of you. Is that our true last question from both people?
I think so.
Yeah.
So where to now?
You know what's always good before, a battle like this, Korvac?
What?
A hero's feast.
At the button.
Our friend Basco's at the button.
Okay.
I do have 6 more, bowls I can give him. It's the only
Presumably at this point he would probably be there.
Yeah. Okay. One amazing feast before bed.
Yes. If that's agreeable with you, Keith.
Everything is. I will see you gentlemen later.
See you later.
On the other side.
Correct?
Have a good day, Keith.
Have a good rest of your life. As I rule the rest of mine.
Here. Unless that was a joke.
And you guys find yourself immediately walking back up the stairs as if you were instinctively hadn't stopped walking forward from when you began.
He's such a nice guy, isn't he?
He is.
Certainly the most misunderstood Eternal.
You make your way out through the pillars, back out through the front door, where you can finally do magic again. Where do you go?
You ready to go to the button, Korvac?
That's where we're heading.
Where are you teleporting specifically? Are you teleporting? Well, I guess then the place where you have is the button. You can't really move around there because that's where you knew you were. You don't know where the encampments have been placed since then.
No, but
So
right in front of our campfire?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say right outside of the button.
S'mores again.
Instantly, you sort of. Well, hold on. No, roll a D100. You still gotta roll that. But
Oh, I hope I get to keep wish.
This isn't a wish.
I know, I'm just joking.
That is it. Is that a D10? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 23.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, you did not go. I think you just took some damage, actually.
Oh, is this one of the ones where you just bonk?
Less than 25 is up for a place that you are familiar with, and that is a failure. Hold on. Let me open that up. Roll again.
73.
You all take 23 force damage. But you find yourself at the campfire. You basically just get to reroll again. At this point, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Just ow!
Like kind of like a grinding of the gears, and you're just like, ah! Oh, okay, thank God nobody was here. And then instantly, like, people are like, oh, Master Mac? Mr. Wolfak?
Yes.
Something graven has happened. They're all waiting for you in the tent.
Oh no.
More bad news. Let's go.
You make your way down. Some preparations are made on the hillside because you know it is up on a mountain range, and as you look out, you kind of see that most of the army is formed outside protecting this mountain range. And there's a very large tent in the middle, very regal, that you're making your way towards. And the mood is a little somber. It takes a couple minutes. Eventually you make your way through the doorway. Everyone, who's anyone, you have Harry and Talar, you have Davin, you have Anix. Oh god, let me get my fucking cheat sheets again. That's not it. Fuck! So much shit just fucking everywhere. Here it is. Lilith is there, Kylan is there, Ty Alkir is there, Frampt is there, Takashi is there. Everyone is there, but a few people are missing. As you walk in, roll insight.
17.
24.
The news is bad. Harrion has been discussing matters, and when you guys walk in through the gate, and it's bright outside, but inside it's dark, and it is kind of seeming like they are keeping it dark on purpose. They all kind of stop you, and then the guards, they all stop what they're talking about. The guards who are escorting you in kind of bow and then walk out. And Harrion goes, "It's best if you both gather at the table." You guys find seats available to you and sit down. You see Rakdell sitting where Maximilian should be sitting.
Ah, what the fuck?
I think it's best if he explains and settles the rumors. Rakdell stands. It is at this time we all aware of the incursions that have happened throughout Pangaea to undermine us in our final efforts. You all were made aware that Maximilian was weakened defending himself from Mardakath. Be it a failure in his own constitution, or an incapability, or just a man who desired not to wish to wield that crown further. The crown that saved him from Mardakath, the ability to call forth an army. People attacked us in our palace. We did everything we could Despite him possibly wielding that throne and calling those forces, maybe he did not because it would kill him. Maybe it would not for moral reasons. All I know is the man who I called father is dead.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
He did what was right.
Thank you. I love that you're talking to him personally as if you're in a council with all of the world leaders sitting at it.
I mean, what else do you say? Should we do a vote on if we're sorry?
I would like to promote that we are sorry as a delegation. I second that motion.
Korvac stands up and starts fucking... What is it called when you're trying
I
to...
veto. A filibuster?
Yeah. I'm going to explain the plot of Neon Genesis Evangelion now.
Can we have a sympathetic moment and can I actually keep going with this? Thank you. I have decided, and the rest of the council of Privence has agreed. I have taken his spot. One second. That's right. I have taken his position as Viscount. The council has voted me in unanimously. And shortly after this, I will take my leave. Not because Privence is pulling out of what it is that we are responsible for here. But I am going to do something that my father could not. Not morally, but physically. A few things. And I will be back to aid you when you need you. When you need me.
We're like in a grand council.
Yes. All the world leaders are here.
He clearly left details. He's not going to answer anything if I ask him what those are.
What do you mean?
So he's not telling us what he's doing. He's just saying that he's going to do something. In fact, he will be back.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll say, God, speak to Ractel.
I love that you just put on the rule that you can't possibly ask.
Why would he ask in a grand council like this? It's like uncouth. He's clearly leaving it out.
Clearly never watched a episode of Game of Thrones. Just because someone leaves something out doesn't mean you can't ask him about it.
In private, maybe.
Alright. If that's the way you want to play it, that's absolutely the way you want to play it. But people shout that shit out all the time. You're not just a man anymore. You're the leader of a world. Privacy isn't always a gift you get to have.
What are you gonna do?
My people made a promise a long time ago. And it's time to collect on the deal that we made. You, two of you personally know what I'm talking about. The rest of you might not be fully aware, but for the safety and protection of the deals in which Privence is safe, I will remain quiet. Come on, guys, you remember.
I know.
What is it?
Oh, OC, it's The Rock, isn't it?
Dwayne.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The Rocktopus.
Harrion stands. Ragdale, if you say it to be true, then, well, I know it to be right. And the council stands behind you. And everybody's just running like,
Mm-hmm.
we hold our line here. We have the bards. We're creating stages for the bards that we have to provide what boons they can and offensive spells that they can. They are our primary focus. The paladins will hold a forward line and the clerics will defend them. We have many troops and we have a solid battle plan. If all goes well with you, and he gestures to you both, and the army's at hand, well, how could we be stopped?
Here, here.
Roll perception check.
Nat 20.
22.
There's a guard that he's always had next to him. A man with a shield and a sword, and then a side sword as well. He's had a few wars with you before. You know it to be the kind of head of his primary guard, his main defenders, his head paladin that's in charge of his paladin army. He seems to be confused currently. You, the nat 20. You're a man of this, maybe not the sword, but you're the man of a blade. You're the man who's been at the forefront of many combats. This brief confusion is not confusion in a mild manner. This is a man stifling panic. Something is wrong. As Harrion finishes his statement, a door erupts. Not a door. It's a tent. Somebody kind of comes through the flaps of the tent and immediately walks up to Harrion and starts whispering something in his ear.
Is it time? Is it the cutoff point for the paladins?
Harrion looks a ghastly white. My friends, I've just heard word. Our clerics and our paladins can no longer speak to their gods.
Happened sooner than I thought it would be. I can't believe it actually happened, actually.
The stronger he gets, the stronger he can stop us. The bigger and thicker the wall between our world and our gods can be.
Now your paladins and your clerics, are they still martial?
The paladin immediately kind of shakes off what is like stands up for himself. I am a sword first. My faith in Pelor is that of a rock. It fuels me, whether it gives me smites or not. As long as I live, no harm will become Harrion Talar.
That's what I want to hear.
The fervor of that goes through my men as well. We are still men of swords. And Lilith stands And we still have a lot of power. We still have magical items. We still have some sorcerers. We'll make this patchwork work. Davin stands. Oh, aye. We've seen far worse before. It wouldn't be a story of how excellent and powerful we are if we won. And we knew we were going to win from the beginning. Come on! At the beginning of this meeting, we were talking about how victory was assured before we heard about the horrible things with Maximilian. Do not let them get in our head. We're gonna fucking kill him tomorrow. Well, in a few hours.
Here, here.
And on that, I think we'll call it for the evening.
It's gonna be a lot next episode.
It is. The final battle.
I waste my wish. The guy with the shield lives. I wish this man can't die.
You know,
Which one?
The one with the Harrian's right hand.
Oh.
okay, I had the exact reverse when he was like, "No harm will befall Harriet while I stand," and then
Oh, he's gonna die. Got it.
In the back of my head, I'm like, "Oh yeah, power word kill."
Power word Bill.
Bell.
Oh, scout ahead.
Power word kilt.
I'm wearing a dress now.
Yeah, you can't fight now, right?
Oh, stupid head.
Actually, I'm stronger.
Oh, I've got so much more mobility now? Oh, god damn it. Max is dead.
Yep.
He was around since the beginning of the campaign, too.
He sure was. He's like Rich Daddy Cringe.
And your guys' failure to act killed him. If only you had killed every single bad guy in the campaign that you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
If we had more player characters that could be doable.
Maybe.
Split the party.
Split the part. Everybody protect someone important to you, please.
Korvax just in a fucking like 8-way combat. He's just like, any minute now I'll be hasted.
Why has no one hasted me, healed me, counterspelled magic against me? Oh my god, I'm part of a system. I'm not just the only one. Oh god!
Mother, I'm not the biggest.
I thought I was so fast, but it was actually haste and foresight.
Can you imagine a character built around like, I'm so good, and he loses his friends, he's just like, oh my god, I'm shit.
Yeah,
We're looking at him.
I know, but like, doesn't realize it though.
Yeah.
You're
Korvax.
looking at him?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
To that extreme.
So,
The amount of times you rolled at advantage when you don't have it because you just thought foresight has been on you naturally for many sessions. It's happened a lot. We're like, oh no, I don't have foresight on me. Just because so many times you do have foresight on you. I do think that there's that sort of range that you have where it's just like, I hit all the time. And I'm like, yeah, because most of the time you're in combat, you have foresight on you. Like, that helps a lot because there's like some pretty high ACs up there. And like, 27. But when you're rolling plus 19s, at advantage,
Yeah.
you're almost always going to hit because you're never going to roll lower than an 8 because you've got advantage. Like, you've got to get like 2s and 3s not to hit, So like, I think like a lot of those are in there. And it does, inflate the ego a little bit. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Korvax. But I do think there is that kind of like, I have so much healing and so much this. And it's like, yeah, but there's also a lot of counterspelling, focus stealing, AoE damages, bardic inspirations, crowd control that's also going into everybody's successes,
it's a Reinhardt that's been shot by an Ana ult. He's like, this is me all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Lots to do, lots to see.
So much to do, so much to see.
catch you next time. Is there anything else you guys wanted to cover?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And now let's go get our Thanksgiving Mountain Melt Singer / half rack of ribs.